So we finally got the chance to talk with the great Mr. James Bentley from Financial Markets Online. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for your time. I understand that you have this institute basically, and you're mainly focused on the educational side of financial markets. What do we need to know from you?
Yes, we run trader training programs from a beginner to an advanced level, online and in person. We have a very, very large headquarters in the UK, and we're now based in Dubai for 2 years.
Well, that's amazing. Knowing that you have been a trader for such a long time, both retail and institutional, you would be the best option to tell a big beginner trader how to start. How do you do that? How do you basically get a person who knows nothing, raw, untouched, and train them into a good trader?
The most important thing is education and keeping it simple. Too many people try to overcomplicate trading, make it very difficult. They get greedy and excited to make millions. If they keep it simple and get a mentor, then it's a very, very simple process.
How much is too much? Where do you draw the line from the basics until when it's overwhelming?
The problem is people online will teach you stuff that's not relevant to making money. And as a new trader, the most important thing is to make money, not understand the whole financial markets. The whole financial markets is confusing and is, as I say, overcomplicated. It can teach you things about the history of the S&P and history of the financial markets, which is not relevant to how volatile the market is today.
But don't you think that's relevant for understanding the essence of the market?
Not at all, because the market's incredibly volatile now. There's 7 trillion traded every day. Back then there wasn't. The market's so momentum-based, whereas old-school traditional strategies just don't work in today's market.
Well, let me ask you this question. What mediums do you prefer to basically direct your knowledge to your beginners?
So we're heavy on price action, which is having the ability to read a chart. Once you can read a chart, you can trade any asset class in the world. Price action, the candlesticks, is the only leading factor in everything we do. Everything else indicators is lagging behind the bars that are present.
Explain price action with very simple words for a 5-year-old.
Price action is the candlestick. So if you're looking at a chart, the red and green bars, and it's tracking price of, let's say, a currency pair. So if it's Euro USD, it's tracking the value of the euro against the dollar. Price fluctuates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. The price fluctuates based on interest rates and other political decisions, and also fluctuates based on the hedge funds, the institutions, the banks that are moving the markets. It's our job not to predict those moves. It's our job to try and jump on the back of those moves.
So you do give value to macroeconomy and factors changing in the real economy?
They're very, very small. It's more of a case of when you're a day trader, it's better to stay away from high impact news announcements than try and read them. A lot of them are unpredictable, and there's no true pattern like there was many years ago.
Do you think anyone can be a trader, or do we have a specific type of people?
Not everyone. If you're a gambler, then certainly not. If you're a greedy person, then certainly not. But if you want a new career path, or you want to change career path, and you're willing to put maybe a year or 2 years of hard work and discipline, then for sure.
So what are the qualities of a good trader?
Someone who's disciplined, someone who's decisive, someone that can adapt to market sentiment, someone that can make decisions quickly, and someone that's willing to work hard and not lazy.
You know, we have 2 systems of thinking fast and slow. And the slower system is just for daily choices, you know, like you take one step and the next step it goes on the first system. The second one, however, it goes deeper. Do you think a trader should use the slower thinking system or the deep one?
It depends on the personality, to be honest. Because if a trader's, let's say, very slow thinking, they're patient, they're organized, they're not in a rush, if they try and trade a fast moving strategy, it's not suiting their personality. If there's somebody that is like that character of being quite slow, then they need to take a step back and look at picking out long-term stocks and holding trades for a long period of time. Someone like myself who's a bit crazy, a bit aggressive, a bit wild, a bit fast thinking, fast paced, wants action, then an intraday strategy suits me rather than placing a trade and waiting for months for it to do something.
Do you actively trade?
Perhaps ever since 2009, 2010.
Tell us about that. How was your journey?
So I started at 16 when I left school. I went straight onto a trading floor in London. It was one of the largest trading floors in the UK at the time. I was there for 4.5 years as a junior trader. And then the final stages of my career, I was trading FX. Before it was fixed income and stocks and European debt. Then I moved to a boutique hedge fund, and we was trading 60 million between 7 of us at the time. So I was still the youngest there. And then I progressed, and in 2015, we come into the retail market.
Well, doing that, having that history, what's your take on gold right now?
going to keep going.
It's gonna keep
It's
going.
going to keep going. It will cruise through 4,000, and then it will slow down a little bit, but it will keep going for sure.
How do you preserve traders from the greed of buying and buying and buying at all-time highs? Do you just try to stop them?
It comes back to education, and we saw the same with Bitcoin. Uneducated traders will buy at the highest point Bitcoin's ever been, and then they'll cry when it starts to tank and move. So if someone's educated and they understand how to look for exhaustion and overbought markets, then they'll be able to predict the turn in gold. It doesn't just turn in a second. You can see signs days before it turns.
Some people see Bitcoin as a rival to gold. Do you see that kind of competition happening between these two?
Two different asset classes. Yeah, two different. Bitcoin's got a mind of its own. So's gold in some respect, but gold's the way that we trade. You're not trading gold as a physical product. You're trading gold dollar. So it's quite easy for us to understand 50% of the asset by knowing what knowing what dollar's doing. Whereas Bitcoin, yeah, you can trade a Bitcoin dollar, but it's an unregulated product that's got a mind of its own.
I've had the chance to talk with some of the greatest minds here, some of them from fintech, and they've been telling me about these new platforms that are specifically designed for the needs of Gen Zers and Alphas to come. Did you already have a chance to work with the Gen Zers, or how does their brain work? Because it's like a whole different story with them.
They're lazy. The Gen Zs are lazy, 100%. It's a different mindset. They all want to go on YouTube and make millions. Whereas when in our day at 16, you was kicked out the door and told to work 12 hours a day and learn your own craft. So the Gen Zs are good. They're high tech. They're switched on. They're smart, but they're very, very lazy in the want to work hard for trading.
Can you work with those kind of people?
We can, but they just need to snap out of like the get rich quick mindset. They think they can quickly open the laptop, buy the most expensive Apple Mac and make $1 million tonight.
They'll probably hate you for that because they don't agree with you on the fact that they're lazy. They just have a different system and mentality.
If we're stereotyping that demographic in the UK and that demographic here in the UAE, for sure. 100%, they're not built like the generation before.
So you're still fixed on the millennials and whoever is already in this market. Are you worried about those people going away and then you're going to be stuck with the Gen Zs, or what are you going to do with them?
No, because it's like the trading, you have to adapt to market sentiment. So the way that we adapt to the Gen Zs, and to give you an example, in the UK, we do anywhere between 400 to 500 clients per month coming through our education programs. In the UAE, it's about 150 a month. So we get to experience every demographic of person. In the group of companies that we have over 100 staff. So we have Gen Zs, we have some of our senior traders are in their 60s on our booth today that have been trading for 30 years. So
what do you think is the ideal age for starting to begin trade as?
As young as possible if you have the right mindset. Some people need to grow out and get to their 20s before they realize that this is a career path.
And what is your position on people working at the same time as they're working, as they're trading?
You have to, yeah, you can't not. Because if you are a Gen Z as an example, the good thing you have at that age group is you don't have any kids, you probably won't have a mortgage, you may not have a car, you may live with your parents. So your expenses are very, very minimal. So you can still work and trade around it. What I don't like people doing is people that have children, expenses, mortgages, quitting their job and said, today I'm going to be a trader.
All that pressure.
Because you're going to need to make, $10K out in your first month to pay your bills. And that's not going to happen as a new trader.
What do you see coming your way in 3 years?
In what, the markets or myself? Or
in the markets, in the business.
The markets are going to get even more volatile. When we have all this technology and this AI coming in, it's going to allow certain styles of trading to adapt to price sentiment, which means it's going to become even more volatile if AI is moving markets rather than speculating. It's just going to get busier and busier. In a couple of years, it'll be over 10 trillion a day.
Right. And you think that's a good thing for the people who are currently in the markets, or is it going to be harder to get adapted to the situation?
Volatility creates opportunity, which means there's trades available. But if you don't know how to trade, you're going to get smacked.
Well, on that note, I'm going to ask you what are your thoughts about the Expo 2025 this year, a year that is grander than ever. What do you think?
It's good. It's very, very busy. My favorite part was this podcast.
Really? Well, that's our pleasure then. Thank you so much for having us and giving us your time.
Thank you.